Hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me for the second time in a row. Very excited to be here. A bit unfortunate about being a Liverpool supporter this year, but maybe next year. How many of you want to be your own boss one day? You want to do your own thing? Let me have a show of hands. Yeah? Now keep your hands up. But those of you who think that you are going to pull the trigger, you are actually going to do it in the next few months, you can. So all of you who still have your hands up, why? Why are you not pulling the trigger? This is what I sort of want to talk a little bit about today. I'm Khalil. I'm a consultant. And I've been really focused on my practice for the last 2 years. And I feel like I sort of know why so many of you maybe haven't pulled the trigger, because it did take me quite a lot of time to pull the trigger as well. And for me, there were 3, I suppose, challenges that prevented me from pulling the trigger. And I think that you might see that maybe some of those challenges are some of the things that you're facing as well. First challenge, I don't have enough knowledge. We've seen so many great people on stage talking about, really important stuff, so much expertise being shared. I think it's natural that for many of us to think, well, I don't have the expertise. I can't do those things. How can I do something by myself if I don't have enough expertise, if I don't have enough knowledge? That's one challenge. Thing is, you actually do have a lot of knowledge. 2, and I'll go a bit more deeply into each of those afterwards. But element 2, challenge 2, I don't have enough connections. If I want to do something for myself, I need to know people, right? What if I don't know enough people? That is a challenge. You can solve that. 3, I don't have enough time. That is a bit of a problem for everyone. Maybe you have a full-time job, maybe you have more than one job, personal life, etc. There's quite a lot happening. You don't have enough time. So again, there is a solution to that. But those are maybe 3 key elements, key challenges that really prevented me from pulling the trigger, from becoming a consultant. But over time, I sort of went and was able to, in my own way, solve those challenges. And I'm going to share with you how I've done that, with the hope that in the next 5 minutes, you have a bit of a mindset shift. And you're like, actually, I can do that as well. Okay? Let's go a bit more deeply into each of those. So, I don't have enough knowledge. Well, the thing is, when I started my career, I suppose, like 15 or so years ago, I was a community manager. So I looked after a group blog, a science blog. So there were loads of science students writing on that blog, and I sort of managed that. So I was editing, I was getting guest bloggers, etc., etc. Now that group blog was also part of a blog network, of a larger network from Nature Publishing Group, which is a science publisher. Now one day, my managing editor came to me and said, "We want you to manage the entire blog network." And I was like, what? At the time, I was like, early 20s. I just got out of university, and now you're asking me to manage blogs, some of them written by actual scientists, people with lab coats who are making discoveries. I can't do that. And then she said something that really resonated with me. Your knowledge may be invisible to you, but it's visible to everyone else. Turns out that a lot of the skills that I was using, a lot of the things I was doing, managing the group blog, was the same skill set that I had to use to manage the entire blog network. So I had the expertise, I just didn't really see it. And my point to you is, just take a step back. Think about all the help that you give. Think about all the advice that you give already, right? In the office, people come to you and ask you how to do X, Y, Z, and you answer, right? But you find a solution. You do have the expertise. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a step back and realizing that, yes, I do have the knowledge, I do have the expertise, and I want to share that. That's a mindset shift, right? Now, the thing is, it's easier to realize that you've got the expertise when the knowledge in your head, when all the information that you have in your brain is a bit connected, is structured. The problem is, a lot of the time, the knowledge that we have, the information that we have in our heads is unstructured, sort of live everywhere. But start connecting it, right? As writers, when you write, for example, you understand the thing better, right? When you create videos, you understand the thing better. When you teach something, you understand the thing better. What is happening? All the information that you have in your brain is starting to become structured. And once you have structured information in your brain, you have knowledge. That is the key. How do you do this? First, also, there's a QR code there, which goes into much more detail about this. So I would encourage you to scan that if you want more information. But there's a very simple 4-step process to encourage you to turn unstructured information into structured knowledge in your head so that you realize you've got expertise. 1, capture. Whenever you are consuming information, reading articles, watching videos, take notes. I'm sure many of you already take notes. But that's the step 1. Step 2, organize the notes a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you already do that, right? What many people don't do is this. 3, distill. Distill is when you have loads of notes, but then you start finding patterns within those notes, right? You start bringing things together. This is when the magic happens. This is when new knowledge starts to be created. Finally, when you've distilled the knowledge, share it, right? Express it, share it. This is really important. As I said, when you share, when you teach, this is when you realize you've got the knowledge. This is when you realize you've got the expertise, and everyone else benefits from it. So please do that as well. This is very quick. Reminder, QR code goes into much more detail about how you can set this up and really start organizing the information that you have and then sharing a lot of knowledge that will benefit a lot of people. So you do have enough knowledge. You just, maybe some of you, maybe you don't realize it. I didn't realize it 15 years ago, but you do have enough knowledge. So that's 1. Second, I don't have enough connections. Now, I'm from Mauritius. I know I can't really complain about anything when I say I'm from Mauritius. The thing is, it's a tiny island in the Indian Ocean, which means I'm quite isolated, right? How can I create connections with people on the continent, with people elsewhere, when I'm on a tiny island in the middle of an ocean, right? Plus, I'm a bit of an introvert, so don't necessarily find it particularly easy to approach people and just have conversations. Well, there's a solution, and the solution is, remember how I said share knowledge? Share it, right? We've got phones, we've got internet. We are actually quite connected. But the key is, once you share valuable information consistently, people will come. People will know you, and you're really increasing your surface area for opportunities. I'm here on the stage, for example. Last year I was here on the stage, and from this, other opportunities came. But it all started, for me, it all started 4 years ago when I decided I would share information consistently on LinkedIn. I know. When I started, I don't know if you see it there, but not a lot of people knew about me, right? So not many engagement, etc. But you keep doing it, so it takes time. You keep doing it. You get better at it. You get better at communicating. You get better at sharing information. You get better at understanding what is going to be valuable to people. You keep sharing, and people will know you as a person who has valuable insight to share about a particular topic. So keep doing that. So that was it, right? I got a community of people who knew me, people who valued my expertise, people who I could talk to and learn from as well. So I sort of built a community just by sharing information. You don't network your way out of obscurity, you publish your way out of it. I think that's very important. Share information consistently, share valuable information consistently on whatever platform, wherever, in person, wherever. And people will know you, people will value the work that you do, you will create connections, you will get more opportunities. I guarantee that. I built a career based on this. So you have enough knowledge, you can create a lot of connections. What about time? Well, actually, before I move to time, this I quite like. When I say, share information, to create content, I quite like the ikigai. If you don't know about it, take a photo, Google it. There's quite a lot of information. But if you can share information that is in the middle, so the intersection of those four sets, what you love, what the world needs, what you get paid for, what you're good at, you've hit the bullseye. That's the right spot. Try to get those. Okay, so you create connections. You're creating great content. You're creating connections. The other challenge is time. That is always a bit of a problem, isn't it? Time. Now, I remember, so there was this time, I was in a car, my dad was driving, so I was in the passenger seat. And that was like maybe 10 years ago. And it was at the time when I wasn't feeling particularly challenged at work. I wasn't feeling particularly fulfilled. So I was like complaining about that to my dad. Now, my dad has that very bad habit of being right for a lot of time. So my dad said, why don't you take a course, learn new things, learn new skills? The first thing I said was, what? I don't have time. How can I take a course? This is my calendar. And I started thinking about it. And I was like, well, actually, let me take a course. So I did take a course. I took a project management course, which is a year-long program. But the way I was able to actually go through the program was because I put aside, in my case, 1 hour, but you can take 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, every day. So I built a habit of finding time to do something new, right? So I did the project management course. You can create content for LinkedIn, create content for YouTube, or learn more stuff, talk to people, whatever it is. The key is to develop a habit and keep doing it, and it will become normal. You'll see that, suddenly you've allocated time, and there is time for you to do the things that you want to do. That's very important. And the other thing I would say is the project management course. So a course is broken down into small pieces, right? A course has modules. Modules have chapters. So I would basically, in my, the daily 1 hour slots, I would cover one chapter. When you have a big thing, this is when we think we don't have time, because big projects are overwhelming and we freeze. It's natural. The key is break the big things into smaller things. Break the smaller things into even smaller things, and break the even smaller things into even smaller things. The point is, once you break things down, things become much more manageable. Things become much easier for you to actually do. This is how it looks like in practice. There's a big project broken down and broken down even more. It breaks down even more. I just didn't show it. But the idea here is when you break big things into smaller things, you can do quite a lot because you have clarity about what is it that you need to do, and you have an antidote to overwhelm. A lot of the time when we say we don't have time, it is actually us saying we are overwhelmed because the thing that we want to do is so big. So break things down. Yeah? I hope that you have a bit of a mindset shift. And what you get out of this is, I will move from I don't have enough knowledge to I will create some structure to make my knowledge visible. I will move from I don't have enough connections to I will share valuable knowledge and people will follow me. I will move from I don't have enough time to I will dedicate a few minutes a day to do small things which will then compound. Because the knowledge that you have deserves to be seen. The dreams that you have, don't let them be prisoners of your fate. You can do things. We need your expertise. This industry, especially now, needs the expertise of more and more people from different parts of the world. We need to hear the knowledge that you have. You have the connections, you can create them, you can create time to actually devote to that as well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.